Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Academy. Today in this session, we are going to see very important articles that happened in today's newspaper. First, let us see the important topics of the day. The first topic it is about multidisciplinary team of experts to define Aravallis. Already you know that we discussed lots of articles regarding this Aravallis in the month of November and as well as December. And again, once again, this Aravallis is in news. This year, Aravallis become very important from your prelims point of view, and you have to see in detail about this Aravallis. And this topic is important from environment and ecology, and as well as you will see this same Aravallis in your geography from GS paper 1. And next topic is freebies different from investing in welfare for marginalized, says Supreme Court. Supreme Court is giving clarity regarding what are these freebies and what are these welfare schemes. And next you have to see about exactly what is the definition of this freebies and as well as what exactly is this welfare schemes, and you have to see about what is the way forward, what can be done, and what exactly Supreme Court said about this. And this topic is important from your polity point of view. And next topic is Mozambican rights activists to get Indira Gandhi Peace Prize. Here there is no need of remembering of that Mozambican rights activist name. So here you have to say about what is Indira Gandhi Peace Prize. From this area you may get a prelims based question. So actually the trends of UPSC had been changed from 2022 onwards. They are asking at least 1 or 2 questions regarding awards and as well as sports. Okay. And next topic is study shows India's deltas sinking due to human activity. So here you have to say about this, what is the formation of these deltas and which coast of India we have deltas and which is the largest delta in India. And next you have to say about why these human activities are leading to the sinking of these deltas. And this topic is important from mains and as well as prelims point of view. And it is very important from your GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. And next topic is lowering the age of juvenility for crimes is a step back. So this article is talking about juvenile crimes. Actually, you know that children in this teen age, it is a lots of confused age, like whether they had to be trailed under adults or children. And actually this age groups are also convicting, like they're also accused under serious crimes. Okay, so here recently one private member bill had been introduced in parliament related to the decreasing of the age of this juvenile related crimes. Okay, so that is about this article and it is very important from your polity from GS paper 2. And next topic is what is behind China's latest military drills around Taiwan. So here you have to see where exactly this Taiwan is there and you have to see why China is attacking this Taiwan. So why it is conducting military drills, everything, and it is important from international relations. Apart from this, there is also one article regarding this Prevention of Money Laundering Act. We are also going to see that as well. Okay. These are the important topics that we are going to see in this class. Now let us see the answers for yesterday's questions. Yesterday I gave you 2 questions, right? First one is consider the following statements regarding Pax Silica. Okay. The first statement here is it seeks to counter China's dominance in critical minerals processing, rare earth metals, and semiconductor supply chains. Yes, this is right. And next one is the initiative focuses only on advanced semiconductor fabrication, excludes upstream areas like critical mineral refining. No, it will be focusing on every arena where we are using these critical minerals. So this is incorrect. And next statement is, as of January 2026, the United States has indicated that India will be invited to join Pax Silica to strengthen bilateral tech and strategic cooperation. Yes, this is also right. The correct answer here is 1 and 3 only. B is the right option. And now let us see the next question. Let us see this. And it is assertion and reasoning based question. Assertion says that UK agreed to transfer sovereignty of Chagos Islands to Mauritius, primarily to resolve long-standing legal challenges and to secure long-term future of Dio Garcia military base. Yes, that's the thing that we discussed. Assertion is right. And next, if you see the reasoning, why it is giving back. Reason here is international court ruling, right? international court rulings including ICJ in 2019 and United Nations General Assembly resolutions declared that UK separation of Chagos from Mauritius in 1965 is unsuccessful. And it is saying that we have to go for complete decolonization. Yes, this reason is also right and it is supporting A. So option will be A. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Okay, now let us see the today's articles. Look at the first article, guys, and read out the title. Multidisciplinary team of experts to define Aravallis. Ikkada. Now, if you see the keyword here, the keyword here is Aravallis. Okay, here in this article, keyword is Aravallis. Where you will see this Aravallis in your syllabus? In GS paper 1 in geography, especially to be specific in Indian geography, in your physiographic divisions chapter, you will be seeing about this Aravallis. And you have to say about where are these Aravallis located, in which of the states, and next you have to see the highest peak of this Aravallis, and you have to see like types of Aravallis, like whether it is a folded mountain or block mountain or everything. So all those things that you have to see. And this one here is recently Aravallis Green Wall project is in news, right? So you have to see what is this. Actually, we got inspired from Great Green Wall Project of Africa. From that, we came up with this Green Wall Project to stop desertification and to increase biodiversity in this Aravalli region. And next, you have to see one more important aspect, that is mining. Mining in this Aravallis is one important reason for environment degradation here. That means environment and ecology point of view also you have to see. Okay, now if you see something that is very important to understand this present article. If you want to understand the present article, you have to go back to November and December region. So in this November and December 2025, Supreme Court gave definition of Aravallis and as well as what comes under this Aravalli ranges. But what happened? This definition is not accepted by the local people and they started doing protest. So now again Supreme Court is going to have a team of experts, and this team of experts, they will give a new definition for this Aravallis. Because of this, this is in news. Okay, now let us see this article in detail. This article is saying that Supreme Court has proposed to form a team of experts. Okay, and they are going to define these Aravalli ranges and they will outline the activities which are permissible in this area so that we can maintain proper environment and ecology in this region. Okay, which kind of activities related to which this team is going to be talked is related to regulation of mining, and next one here is who will be the members of this panel: environmentalists, scientists, foresters, specialists, and even they will be checking whether we can permit mining or not. If in case we can permit, so which kind of activities and in which area, everything will be overseen by this expert panel now. Okay, what are the reasons why the Supreme Court came up? Recently in this November 2025, Supreme Court came up with a judgment related to this Aravalli and it gave the definition of Aravallis. What is the definition of Aravallis given by Supreme Court is any elevated area of 100 meters or above plus clusters within 500 meters is called as Aravalli. And because of this, the local people, they didn't accept it. Why? Because this definition will protect only 1048 of 12,081 hills in this Rajasthan. That means there is significant lacuna we can see. That may lead to environmental exploitation. That will lead to illegal mining in this region. And that will lead to overall degradation of this Aravallis. So because of this, again, now court is going to set up an expert panel and they are going to give this definition now. If you see some facts regarding this Aravalli hills, they are nothing but any landform in Aravalli districts with an elevation of 100 meters or more from the local relief. They are called as Aravallis. Aravalli range is nothing but 2 or more hills located within the proximity of 500 meters each other. They'll come under this Aravalli range. If you see certain basic facts from geography point of view, it is one of the world's oldest folded mountain and they formed during this pre-Cambrian period. That means before this Himalayas were formed, Aravallis were there in India. Okay. And it is seen from Gujarat to Delhi to Rajasthan and Haryana. That means Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana and Delhi. In these areas, this Aravallis is seen. Highest peak is Guru Shikhar. It is also called as Mount Abu. So normally, if you have seen this movie Kaki, in that Kaki movie, you can see this Guru Shikhar. Okay. And here you have to say about what are the initiatives taken by the government so far for the protection of these Aravallis. First one is Maitri 1 initiative. Under this initiative, government developed around 750-acre urban forest in Aravalli Hills. And this one is Aravalli Green Wall Project. So they are going for greening of around 5-kilometer buffer area around Aravallis in 4 states. And in earlier judgment of Supreme Court that is famously called as MC Mehta versus Union of India, there a series of judgments, Supreme Court prohibited and banned mining activities in this region, guys. And now let us see the next article. Look at the title. Title says, freebies different from investigating in welfare for marginalized, says Supreme Court. And here you have to know about what are these freebies and you have to know about what are these welfare schemes. And you have to know examples even. To tell in simple way about these freebies, before elections, during these election campaigns, political parties will announce something. We'll give washing machines for women. We'll give bicycles for children who are going to schools or colleges. We are going to give free laptops. We are going to give free cylinders. Okay, like that. What are the announcements which are made by the political parties before elections during their political campaigning, that comes under this freebies. What are these welfare schemes? After that political party come into power, for the next 5 years, whatever the schemes that they will focus on, like education, health, marginalized people, giving of pensions for widows, pensions for elderly people, that all will come under welfare. Okay, welfare schemes. If you see here the context, Supreme Court of India made key oral observations, and in these observations it distinguished freebies from genuine investments in public welfare. Because welfare schemes are very, very important for the marginalized sections of society. For example, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, women's, PWDs, that is people with disabilities, elderly people, they are most vulnerable, right? So for them, welfare schemes are very, very important. Why Supreme Court came up with this kind of judgment here is Supreme Court is hearing petitions related to this curbing of pre-poll promises. Okay, so in this context, Supreme Court gave a clarity regarding freebies and welfare schemes. If you see some details of this article, it mainly says that court drew a clear line between public money on irrational freebies and investing in welfare schemes. So here Supreme Court said that rather than investing money, people's money in providing freebies, we have to use that for the welfare schemes. And this welfare schemes has to target marginalized sections of society. And essential services we have to provide under this welfare schemes to the marginalized societies are free medical care, free education. Okay, so those can be focused and they are also the part of constitutional obligations towards inclusive growth. Okay, that is the thing which mainly said here. And now the Supreme Court present bench questioned the lack of dedicated diversion of revenue surplus for developmental purpose. Especially we are not using money efficiently for the welfare of the people. That is the thing which mainly said by the Supreme Court. If you see what exactly the freebie is, there is no particular definition for freebie, but even RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India, defines it as a public welfare measure that is provided free of charge. These are in form of promises made by the political parties during the elections. Those are called as freebies. Okay. So here if you see why this debate is going on between this welfare versus freebies, here is welfare is rooted in the constitutional duty. For example, food security, job security, education, health support, etc. But always these freebies, your short-term handouts. They will provide like free power, free water, debt waivers. Sustainability will be not there. That will distort the markets or distract the markets. That will also erode the credit culture. They will discourage the work as per Supreme Court. Then what can be done related to this freebies? First one is we have to bring policy reforms. In this policy reforms, always the public money has to be prioritized for providing welfare rather than this freebies. That is the first one. And this one is whenever we are providing any subsidies, whenever we are targeting the people, and whenever we are providing certain welfare schemes for them, so we have to target them so that the right people will get that, and we have to reduce the leakages and as well as corruption, and we have to expand insurance coverage for these people, because we don't know like what can happen in the future, and we don't know like how many kinds of pandemics that will get like COVID-19 in the future. So because of this we have to encourage or ensure insurance coverage. And next one here is election commission has to take certain steps to reduce this freebie culture in our Indian politics. And next one here is skill development and self-reliance is also very important. That will empower individuals so that will reduce dependency on the freebies. And this one is we have to educate the voters first of all, because they will fall under the trap of these freebies. Okay, so we have to educate the voters about long-term consequences of these freebies, and we have to reduce this reliance of people on these freebies. Okay, and this one here is even we have Niti Aayog, RBI, Finance Commission. So different organizations we have. So those also should take proper steps to control this freebies and ensure the proper use of this public money. Clear? And now let us see the next article. Title says Mozambican rights activists to get Indira Gandhi Peace Prize. And the name of that person here is Graca Machel. Okay, here this article is saying that Mozambican rights activist and humanitarian Graca Machel had been selected for Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development for 2025. Okay, so here you have to see what are the contributions made. Okay, actually she was chosen because of her path-breaking work. She did lots of work related to education, health, nutrition, economic empowerment, humanitarian action under difficult circumstances. And the award carries a cash prize of 1 crore along with citation and a trophy. So earlier, whenever this award came up, at that time there was a cash prize of 25 lakhs, but now it had been increased to 1 crore, and they will be giving you the citation as well as even a trophy. Okay, now let us see certain facts regarding this Peace Prize. It was instituted in the name of our former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi by a trust. Okay, it was formed in year 1986 and it is also known as Indira Gandhi Prize for Peace, Disarmament and Development. And earlier, whenever they formed this, they used to give 25 lakhs, now it increased to 1 crore rupees. And it is mainly given for recognizing of their efforts related to promotion of international peace, disarmament, socio-economic cooperation, promoting new international economic order. And this one is whenever they're contributing for all-round advancement of developing of the nations, and whenever they are doing any discoveries of science, modern knowledge, they will be getting, and even for the enlarging of scope of freedom and enriching the human spirit also, this award will be given, guys. And now let us see the next article. See this title. I think you can't see this. I will zoom it. Okay, see here. Study shows India's deltas shrinking due to human activity. This article is very, very important, guys. Now let us see the context. Recently, one study had been published in Nature, and the title of that study is Global Subsidence of River Deltas. This article is saying that in India we have major river deltas on eastern coast. So if you see coast of India, we have east coast, we have west coast, and we have east flowing rivers and we have west flowing rivers, right? So east flowing rivers flow towards east and they will join Bay of Bengal. West flowing rivers, they flow towards west and they will join Arabian Sea. Whenever these rivers which are flowing towards east, they will deposit the sediments, whatever they are carrying, and they form deltas. Only the east flowing rivers, they will form the deltas along the east coast. But west flowing rivers, they will form estuaries. Okay. So actually this article is saying that because of this human related activities, there is increasing of climate change. Because of this, there is increasing of global sea level rise. And next one here is because of this, the shrinking of these deltas is happening at a very faster rate in India. And the research mainly done by using satellite data analyzed around 40 deltas worldwide and highlighted that the densely populated India is having more vulnerability related to this sinking of this deltas. If you see the data which is given in this article, it says that over half of India's major deltas like Ganga, Brahmaputra, Brahmani, Mahanadi, Godavari, Kaveri and Kabini, they are subsiding significantly because of human activities. Especially 77% of delta had been sinked in Brahmani, 69% in this Mahanadi are sinking now. And they are sinking more than 5 mm per year. And on average in India, the sinking is happening around 3 to 5 mm per year. Okay, and if you see at the global level, at least 35% of deltas, they are shrinking. South Asia shows high exposure. Okay, so here you have to think about what can be done so that we can save our deltas, because deltas, they are very rich in alluvial soil, so that it is very important for our agriculture and they will form the fertile areas in our country. If we are losing these deltas, obviously in future we can face a problem regarding food security in our country. Okay, now let us see the next article. Title says building bridges, benefits of cross-border CBDC payments could overweigh cost. So this article is saying that recently we studied that RBI gave certain guidelines to our central government to include CBDCs in this BRICS. We are going to have this BRICS summit and India is hosting that BRICS summit this year in 2026, right? So in that, one agenda should be proposed here, which is given by RBI, is to use this central bank's digital currency. It will be enhancing cross-border payments. Already we discussed that article, but this article is saying that there are certain drawbacks if we are promoting the CBDCs. Let us see what are those, because already in our earlier classes we discussed about CBDCs and I also gave you the prelims practice question. So here, this cross-border payments are going to lead to money laundering. This is one important problem. And next one here is blockchains are excellent instruments. They form transparent and immutable records of transactions, can be coded to provide relevant details such as points of origin and destination, but sometimes that may be tracked, so that what happens here, there is loss of privacy also. And next one here is yes, so this is the one important point they had been highlighted, but they said lots of advantages. Advantages are the SWIFT network is not available to countries like Russia and Iran. So for that countries we can use that. And next one here is, yeah, that is the thing guys, that's it. Okay, now let us see the next article. Okay, title of this article says lowering the age of juvenility for crimes is a step back. So to understand this article, you have to know why it is in news. Recently in our winter session, there is one private member bill had been introduced, and in this private member bill, they are asking to decrease the age for this juvenile crimes. Earlier it is 16, now we have to reduce to 14. under this Juvenile Justice Act of 2015. So because of this, this article is in the news. So here, what is the meaning of private member bill? In bills, we have two types of bills, government bills and private member bills. Government bills are nothing but MP who is a minister, if they will introduce a bill, that is called as government bill. And what is private member bill? MP who is not a minister, whenever they introduce any bill, that is called as private member bill. Recently, we also saw one more private member bill, that is called as right to disconnect, and one more private member bill is to reduce this age for juvenile crimes. So what this bill is proposing here is we have to amend this Juvenile Justice Act to reduce the age for the transport system, that is nothing but trying as adults in heinous offences from 16 years to 14 years. The first one, it is saying that if the heinous crimes are done by these juveniles who are in this age, we have to reduce the age to 14 and we have to try them as adults. And next one here is we have to allow 14 to 15 years old accused of a serious crime to face adult trials, adult prisons and harsher penalties. We should not treat them as a juvenile or a children. And claims raised in serious crimes by 14 to 16 years old justifies greater accountability. If you are increasing this, if you are decreasing this age, then only we can increase accountability and deterrence, because those children who are coming under this age also, they are doing heinous crimes in India, and if they are doing heinous crimes, the punishment should be heinous. That is the idea related to this bill. And why it is considered as a step back here is it will erode the core principle of Juvenile Justice Act. So in this Juvenile Justice Act, we are providing care, we are providing rehabilitation, reintegration, because we are understanding that adolescents have developing brains and they will be having lower impulse control and greater reform potential. If you are reforming them, they will become the good citizens. So here, if you are reducing this age and if you are trying them under this adults, means it will erode this principle of Juvenile Justice Act. And next one here is it prioritizes retribution over evidence-based juvenile justice. We are going to ignore global things, like it will also violate United Nations Convention on Rights of Children. And this one here is recent in 2015 after this Nirbhaya case. In this Nirbhaya case, you know about this Delhi heinous gang rape case. One is juvenile in that. But that juvenile did everything. He did more harsh than compared to the others. So because of this thing, after this Nirbhaya case, we already reduced this age from 18 years to 16 years. Okay, if we are further lowering, means it will ignore the balance and mechanism in our country. Okay, that is the thing which mainly said. And one more thing here is if you are reducing this age, we are not going to address its root causes, like why these juveniles are doing that kind of crimes. Mostly socioeconomic factors, trauma, lack of opportunities will be the major cause for doing that kind of things. That is the thing which mainly said in this article, guys. And let me know your opinion in the comment box. Don't forget. And now let us see the next article. Title says, should corruption charges need prior sanction? So this article is talking about Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So what is the story? The story here is two-judge bench of Supreme Court delivered a verdict on constitutional validity of Section 17A of Prevention of Money Laundering Act, Prevention of Corruption Act. Okay, so this says that it requires prior approval from appropriate government before investigation into any offence alleged to have been committed by public servant in discharge of official functions. So as you all know that lots of times the corruption related cases are coming against the public servants. So now Supreme Court delivered a judgment related to this Prevention of Corruption Act. It said that if you want to start investigations, if you want to deal with any offence related to corruption of a public servant, first of all, we have to take the prior approval from the government. That is the thing which mainly said. Because of this prior approval of corruption related investigation is in use. If you see about this Prevention of Corruption Act here, our central government came up with a committee on prevention of corruption under chairmanship of K. Santanam in 1962. And Santanam committee submitted report in year 1964. And this report is focusing on strengthening of laws dealing with bribery, criminal misconduct. And finally, based on the recommendations of the Santanam Committee, our Government of India came up with this Prevention of Corruption Act in year 1988. So what this act says about? This act says that yes, punishment should be given with respect to offences committed by public servants while performing their public duty. But who is a public servant? It includes any government or local authority employee, any judge, any person who holds an office by virtue by which he is required to perform a public duty. And what is a public duty? Public duty is nothing but discharge of which government, the public or the community at large has an interest. So here they said that yes, we have to give punishment. And now this article is saying that in this Prevention of Corruption Act of 1988, it provides a punishment with respect to the offences who had been done by the public servants while performing their duties. And in that section 19 of this Prevention of Corruption Act says that yes, it requires a prior sanction from appropriate government before prosecution of a public servant in a court. Earlier, there is one judgment called as Vineet Narayan versus Union of India case. In that case, Supreme Court struck down the executive order referred to a single directive issued to CBI that required prior sanction of designated authority before investigating against certain categories of public servants. So in 1998 itself, it had been struck down this, but again, now Supreme Court said that yes, prior sanction or prior permission of government is necessary. So just say about this Prevention of Corruption Act once. And now let us see the next article to see the title. Look at the title. What is behind China's latest military drills around Taiwan? So actually you know that military drills are going on and it is conducted by China near this Taiwan. And the name here is Justice Mission 2025. Please make a note. You may get a question regarding this. Justice Mission 2025 is in news. What is it? It is a military drills done by China around this Taiwan. Justice Mission 2025 is a military drill which is focused on combat readiness of troops, comprehensive superiority, even blockade of seaports and territory, and three-dimensional external line deterrence using land, sea and air force. So this is the mission of China, guys. And it is the first such kind of military exercise conducted in 2022 after US Speaker of House visited Taiwan. After this US Speaker visited Taiwan, this is the first time this kind of harsh military exercise is going on. Okay, so remember that name, that's it. And now let us see the questions. So I gave you 2 questions here. So please let me know the answers for those questions in the comment box. First one is consider the following statements about lowering the juvenility age for heinous crimes. It aligns with global best practices under United Nations Convention of Rights of Child. It may expose 14 to 15-year-olds to adult prisons, increasing abuse and stigmatization risk. It ignores that most adolescent offending stems from socio-economic factors rather than inherent criminality. You have to identify which of the statements are not correct. And next one is the multidisciplinary team proposed by Supreme Court for Aravalli range will be primarily focused on option A, completely banning all mining activities, providing scientifically nuanced definition and accessing regulated mining impacts. Option C is allocating mining leases to private companies, and option D is converting the range into a national park. Please let me know answers for these 2 questions in the comment box. By this, I'm concluding this. Thank you so much for watching, and please do like this class and share this class, and do subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy. And if you want to join foundation course in our academy, the batches are going on. Batches already had been open and admissions are going on. You can contact us for your offline or online. For online or offline, if you have any queries, please do contact on this number 8074765513, or else you can directly visit academy so that you will be getting the clear-cut clarity about the queries or your doubts, everything is. Thank you so much.